My old wedding photos mock me from the cardboard box in the corner. There I am, soft and curvy in white lace, glowing with happiness. Now, I'm all lean muscle and defined abs, exactly the body I thought would save my marriage. Turns out you can't do crunches to fix a rotten soul. I'm 34 years old, living in my childhood bedroom in my parents' basement in Denver, staring at the same glow-in-the-dark stars I put up in middle school. 6 months ago, I had a 4,000-square-foot house in Cherry Creek, a husband who adored me, and a life everyone envied. Now I have a perfect body and nothing else. The irony isn't lost on me. I'm in the best shape of my life, and my life is in the worst shape possible. It started innocently enough. Last January, I stood in front of our bedroom mirror, pinching the soft flesh around my middle, hating how my jeans dug into my waist. Marriage had made me comfortable. Too comfortable. 5 years of Brett's excellent cooking, wine with dinner, lazy Sundays in bed. I'd gained 30 pounds since our wedding. "You're beautiful," Brett would say, wrapping his arms around me from behind. "I love every inch of you." But I didn't love every inch of me. I saw other wives at his company events, maintaining their figures, wearing designer dresses that clung in all the right places. Meanwhile, I was shopping in the forgiving fit section, choosing empire waists and flowing fabrics to hide my shame. "I need to join a gym," I announced over breakfast one morning. Brett looked up from his newspaper. "Okay, honey. There's a Planet Fitness near—" "No, I mean a real gym. Elevate Fitness opened downtown. They have personal trainers, classes, a juice bar. Miranda from your office goes there. She lost 40 pounds. "How much is it?" $300 a month, plus a $1,000 initiation fee. He nearly choked on his coffee. "For a gym?" "Natalie, that's insane." "My health isn't insane, Brett." "Don't you want me to feel good about myself?" "Of course I do, but we could get a Peloton for less than—" "A bike in our bedroom? So I can stare at the wall while I pedal nowhere? That's your solution?" "I'm just saying there are more affordable options." "Affordable." I let the word hang there like an accusation. "You spend more than that on golf every month." "That's different. Golf is networking for my job. And my appearance doesn't affect your career? When we go to company events and I'm the frumpy wife in the corner while everyone else looks like they stepped out of a magazine?" I watched him deflate. Brett was senior management at a tech firm, surrounded by young executives with younger wives. I'd seen him notice the difference, even if he was too kind to say anything. "You're not frumpy, Nat. You're beautiful." "I haven't felt beautiful in years." My voice cracked perfectly on cue. "I just want to feel good about myself again." Is that so wrong? The manipulation came so easily. I'd learned that Brett couldn't stand to see me unhappy. All I had to do was let my voice quiver, mention how hard it was to find clothes that fit, maybe tear up a little. By lunch, he'd texted me that he'd put the initiation fee on the credit card. "Anything to see you smile," he wrote. "I love you just as you are, but I love you happy more." I signed up that afternoon. Elevate Fitness was everything Planet Fitness wasn't. Marble floors, eucalyptus towels, beautiful people sweating beautifully. The girl at the front desk looked like she'd never eaten a carb in her life. "You'll definitely want to book a session with a personal trainer," she said, sliding a glossy brochure across the desk. "For your goals, I'd recommend Chase. He specializes in total body transformation." Chase. Even his name sounded like abs and protein shakes. My first session was the next morning. I'd bought new workout clothes, telling myself I needed proper attire to take this seriously. Lululemon everything. $200 for leggings that promised to sculpt and lift. I arrived early, nervous energy coursing through me. Then Chase walked in, and my mouth went dry. 6'3" of carved muscle, arms sleeved in intricate tattoos, dark hair that fell perfectly even after what he said was his own 2-hour workout. When he smiled, a dimple appeared in his left cheek that made my stomach flip. "Natalie?" "I'm Chase. Ready to change your life?" I thought he meant my body. God, I was naive. That first session was brutal. I could barely walk the next day. Muscles I didn't know existed screaming in protest. But when Brett asked how it went, I found myself gushing. He really knows what he's doing. Says I have great potential under all this. I gestured at my body. Fluff. You're not fluff, Brett said, pulling me close. You're perfect. But perfect didn't have Chase's hands on my hips, adjusting my squat form. Perfect didn't earn his approval, his proud smile when I pushed through one more rep. I booked 3 sessions a week, then 4, then 5. Each session cost $150, but I handled our finances. Brett trusted me to be reasonable. I moved money around, cut back on other expenses he wouldn't notice. Stopped getting my nails done, bought cheaper groceries, skipped the housekeeper, anything to afford more time with Chase. The lies started small. I'd tell Brett my session ran long when really Chase and I were sitting in the juice bar, talking about everything except exercise. He told me about his competition days, how he'd almost made it to professional bodybuilding before a shoulder injury ended his dreams. I told him about feeling invisible, how sometimes Brett looked right through me like I was furniture. He doesn't see you, Chase said, leaning across the table. Not really. He sees who you used to be. I see who you're becoming. You're transforming, he told me after 6 weeks, his hands spanning my waist. Feel that? Solid muscle under there now. You're becoming who you were meant to be. The touching was always professional, adjusting my form, spotting my lifts, demonstrating proper posture. But each contact burned through my workout clothes, left me thinking about his hands for hours afterward. Your hip flexors are tight, he'd say, pressing his thumbs into the muscles along my pelvis. We need to work on opening these up. Professional, necessary. But his hands lingered and I let them. I started planning my days around the gym. Woke up at 5 to make Brett breakfast before my 6 a.m. session. Rushed home to shower and change before he noticed I'd been gone. Evening sessions meant elaborate lies, book clubs that didn't exist, visiting friends who weren't expecting me, overtime at the nonprofit where I volunteered twice a week. You seem happier, Brett said one night, watching me prep meals for the week. Grilled chicken, brown rice, steamed broccoli, portioned into identical containers. This gym thing is really working for you. If only he knew how right he was, but it wasn't the exercise making me glow. Chase started texting me. Motivational messages at first. Great work today. Remember to stretch. Then more personal. Thinking about your form on those deadlifts. You're getting so strong. Then late at night, can't sleep. You awake? I was always awake when he texted. One night a photo came through. Him shirtless in his bathroom mirror, every muscle defined under perfect lighting. Sorry, meant to send this to my buddy. Progress check. Sure he did. I stared at that photo for 20 minutes, comparing his body to Brett's soft dad bod. Brett who hadn't seen the inside of a gym since college. Brett who thought yard work counted as exercise. Impressive progress, I finally typed back, playing along with his charade. You should see yours. Mind if I take some photos at our next session for your records? And so began the documentation of my transformation. Photos in sports bras and tiny shorts. Chase adjusting my posture, his hands on my bare skin. For comparison purposes, we said. But I knew why he wanted them, and I knew why I let him take them. My husband snores, I'd reply to his late-night texts, listening to Brett's peaceful breathing beside me. Lucky husband. Does he appreciate what he has? He says he does. Saying and showing are different things. You're becoming extraordinary, Natalie. Does he see that? Brett saw it, complimented my tighter clothes, my increased energy, but he also missed me. Suggested dinner dates I declined because they'd interfere with training. Planned weekend trips I vetoed because I couldn't miss 2 days at the gym. I feel like I'm losing you to that place. he said one night after I'd rushed through dinner to make a 7 p.m. boot camp. That was really just Chase and me in the private training room. Don't be dramatic. I'm doing this for us. Don't you want me to be attractive for you? You were always attractive to me. That's not what I asked. He looked hurt, but didn't push. Never pushed. That was Brett's fatal flaw. He loved me too much to fight with me. After 4 months, I'd lost 25 pounds. My body was toned, strong, exactly what I'd wanted. But it wasn't enough. Nothing was enough as long as there was distance between Chase and me. The line got crossed on a Thursday evening. The gym was nearly empty, most people home with their families for dinner. Chase had me doing hip thrusts, a particularly suggestive exercise that always made me self-conscious. "Stop thinking so much," he said, kneeling beside the bench. "Your body knows what to do. Trust it." His hand was on my hip, ostensibly checking my form. But when our eyes met, something shifted. He didn't move his hand. I didn't tell him to. "I've wanted this since the first day you walked in," he said, voice low. "Watched you transform, become this goddess, and all I could think about was—" "Don't," I whispered, but my body betrayed me, arching toward him. "Tell me you haven't thought about it. Tell me you don't feel this." I couldn't, because I had thought about it. Every session, every text, every carefully orchestrated touch had been leading to this moment. "Natalie," he said, voice rough. "My car," I whispered. 10 minutes? I texted Brett about traffic, a pileup on I-25. He texted back to be safe, he'd keep dinner warm, added a heart emoji that made my stomach twist with guilt. Meanwhile, I was in the backseat of my SUV with my trainer, 4 months of tension exploding into something inevitable and wrong and perfect. Chase was nothing like Brett. Where Brett was gentle, Chase was demanding. Where Brett whispered how beautiful I was, Chase told me I'd earned this with every rep, every mile, every drop of sweat. He worshipped the body he'd helped create, and I was drunk on that worship. Afterward, guilt should have consumed me. Instead, I felt powerful, desired, like my new body had earned this attention, this passion. Brett's gentle love suddenly seemed pale in comparison to Chase's hunger. It became our routine. Late sessions when the gym was empty, his apartment when his roommate was gone, my house once, recklessly, when Brett was at a conference in Austin. I washed the sheets twice, lit candles to mask the scent of Chase's cologne, but the betrayal lingered in every room. "Leave him," Chase said one night, traced the definition in my abs he'd helped create. "You've outgrown that life. You're not the soft housewife anymore." "It's complicated." "No, it's not. You're just scared." He was wrong. I wasn't scared. I was greedy. I wanted both. Brett's stability and love, Chase's passion and approval, the dedicated husband and the dangerous trainer. I deserved both, didn't I, after all the work I'd put in? Brett started noticing things. The new lingerie that appeared in my drawer, the way I guarded my phone, how I showered before coming to bed, washing away evidence of another man's touch. "Is everything okay?" he asked one night. "You seem different." "I'm just focused on my goals." "You said you wanted me to be happy." "I do. But I miss my wife." "I'm right here." "Are you?" The question hung between us. I should have confessed then, ended one relationship or the other. Instead, I kissed him and promised to skip the gym the next day. We'd have a date night. Reconnect. I didn't skip the gym. Told him I'd shortened my session, would meet him at the restaurant. But Chase and I lost track of time in the stretching room, and I was 40 minutes late to dinner. Brett was on his second glass of wine when I arrived, flushed and hastily dressed. "Traffic again?" he asked. "Terrible, I'm so sorry, baby." He studied me for a long moment. "Your shirt's on inside out." I looked down. The tag of my blouse was clearly visible at my throat. My face burned. "I changed at the gym." Must have been in a rush. Must have been. The rest of dinner was tense. Brett quiet, me overcompensating with chatter about work, the weather, anything but where I'd actually been. He paid the check in silence, held my hand in the car but said nothing. That night, he made love to me for the first time in weeks. But it felt different, desperate, like he was trying to reclaim something already lost. "I love you," he whispered afterward. "I love you too," I said, and meant it. That was the horrible part. I did love Brett. I just loved how Chase made me feel about myself more. 2 weeks later, everything ended in the most cliché way possible. It was our anniversary. 6 years married, and Brett wanted to surprise me. He'd planned to take me to lunch, then shopping, make a day of it. He knew I had a session with Chase at noon, so he decided to surprise me at the gym with flowers, tell Chase he was stealing me for the afternoon. Later, I'd learn he'd taken a half day off work, something he never did. Had made reservations at the French restaurant where we'd had our first date, had even bought tickets to a show that evening. He'd planned the perfect day to show me I was still his priority. Instead, he walked into Elevate Fitness at 12:15, carrying 24 red roses and wearing his best suit. I was doing pull-ups, my legs wrapped around Chase's torso for stability, when Brett walked in, 24 red roses in his arms. Chase was behind me, his hands on my waist, not spotting me, just holding me. We both knew it. But Brett saw the truth, saw how Chase's thumbs stroked my skin, saw how I arched into his touch, saw the intimate familiarity and how our bodies moved together. Saw Chase lean in and whisper something in my ear that made me laugh, the kind of laugh I used to save for him. The roses hit the floor. The sound echoed through the gym like a gunshot. "Brett!" I dropped from the bar, stumbling, my legs shaky. "What are you doing here?" He looked between Chase and me, understanding dawning like a horrible sunrise. His face went through stages. Confusion, realization, devastation, rage, all in the span of seconds. 6 years, he said, his voice dangerously quiet. 6 years, and this is how you... My first thought wasn't regret. It was a hot flash of fury that he was here, ruining this. "I can explain." "Can you? Can you explain why you're wrapped around another man on our anniversary?" I'd forgotten. Our anniversary, June 15th, the date that used to mean everything. Chase stepped forward, chest puffed out. "Hey man, we were just training." "Shut up!" Brett's voice was deadly calm. "Just shut up!" The entire gym was watching now. 20 people pretending to exercise while witnessing my marriage implode. Someone was definitely filming. "Brett, please, let's go outside." "Why? Embarrassed? Now you want privacy?" His laugh was bitter. "How long, Natalie? How long have you been fucking him?" I'd never heard Brett use that word, never heard his voice shake with rage. "It's not what you think." "Stop lying!" The shout echoed off the mirrors. "For once in your life, stop lying to me." 2 months, I whispered, louder. "Let everyone hear what kind of woman you are." 2 months. Brett nodded slowly, processing. Then he turned to Chase. "Hope she was worth it. She's all yours now." "Hey man, wait," Chase started, but Brett was already walking away. He stopped at the door, turned back. The entire gym was frozen, watching this soap opera unfold. Someone in the corner had their phone out, recording. "You know what the pathetic part is?" Brett said, his voice carrying across the silent gym. I knew. Part of me knew. The new lingerie, the constant texting, the way you'd shower before bed. But I loved you too much to see it. Brett --. "I'm done loving you too much." He looked at Chase. "She's all yours, buddy." But here's a tip. When she starts texting someone else late at night, when she starts needing extra sessions with the next guy, remember this moment, because a woman who will cheat with you will cheat on you. He walked out, leaving the roses scattered on the rubber floor. I ran after him, chasing him to the parking lot in my sports bra and leggings, mascara running down my face. The automatic doors seemed to move in slow motion. "Brett, wait! Please! It didn't mean anything." He whirled around. "Didn't mean anything? I paid for the membership. I supported you. I told you every day you were beautiful, and you threw it all away for what? Some meathead who makes you feel skinny?" "It's not like that." "Then what's it like, Natalie?" "Help me understand how my wife ended up screwing her trainer, the trainer I'm paying for. Do you know how much I've spent? $15,000. $15,000 for you to work out, and you worked out how to destroy our marriage." The parking lot was filling with gym members who'd followed the drama outside. I was sobbing now, ugly crying that made my transformed abs contract. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll end it. I'll never see him again." "You're right about that, because you'll never see me again either." He got in his car and drove away. The last time I saw my husband, I was standing in a gym parking lot in my workout clothes. Everything I'd built destroyed in 5 minutes. The divorce was swift and brutal. Colorado's a no-fault state, but adultery still matters in asset division. Brett had photos now. The gym's security footage that somehow got leaked showed months of inappropriate contact. Every session where Chase's hands lingered too long, every moment we snuck away to private training rooms. His lawyer was ruthless. A woman named Patricia Stern, who looked at me like I was dirt under her designer heels. "My client has documentation of financial fraud," she said during the first meeting. "You diverted $16,000 of marital assets to pay for sessions with your paramour. That's dissipation of marital property." "They were training sessions." "Training sessions where you had sexual contact with the trainer? We have security footage, Mrs. Thompson. Would you like to review it?" My lawyer, an overworked public defender type I could barely afford, shook his head at me. I kept quiet after that. Brett asked for everything, and he got it. The house in Cherry Creek, 4,000 square feet of my dream home. The BMW he'd bought me for my birthday. The investment accounts, the vacation fund we'd been building for a trip to Italy. Even my grandmother's china, technically marital property since she'd died after we married. "You can keep your workout clothes," his lawyer said with a smirk, "since those seem to be so important to you." I lost the house. Lost the car he'd bought me. Lost the friends who sided with him, which was everyone. Even my family was disgusted. "How could you?" my mother asked when I moved back home. "Brett was perfect. He loved you exactly as you were." I needed more than that. More than unconditional love? "What's wrong with you?" I couldn't explain it. How the attention felt. How being desired by someone who looked like Chase made me feel valuable in a way Brett's steady love never did. How pathetic is that? I needed a stranger's validation more than my husband's devotion. Chase dumped me 2 weeks after the confrontation, said the drama was affecting his reputation at the gym, costing him clients. He didn't return the texts. He didn't need to. I was already erased. Turned out I wasn't special. I was just another married woman he'd conquered. His Instagram, which I stalked obsessively, showed him with a new client within days. Another soft housewife looking to transform. "This isn't working," he told me over text. Not even the decency to say it in person. "I've got a business to run." "Can't have angry husbands showing up." "But you said you loved me." "You said I was different." "You are different. You're the one who got caught." I found out later from another trainer that this was Chase's pattern. Target the unhappy wives with money, make them feel special, sleep with them until the drama started, then move on. I was number 7 or 8, depending on who you asked. There was even a nickname for us among the staff, Chase's groupies. "He's got the next one lined up already," the trainer told me, pity in his eyes. "Rebecca something. Husband's a banker. She just signed up for the platinum package." The platinum package. Unlimited sessions. Just like I'd had. I kept my membership for another month, hoping to run into him, to fix things. But he'd changed his schedule to avoid me. The other trainers looked at me with pity or disgust. Members whispered when I walked by. I was the woman who'd destroyed her marriage for abs and orgasms. Now I work at a different gym, one of those budget chains that smell like rubber and broken dreams. I make $12 an hour folding towels and wiping down equipment. My coworkers don't know my story, but they know something's off about the woman with the perfect body who seems so miserable. I still work out obsessively. It's all I have left. The body Chase helped me build, the one that cost me everything. I catch men looking sometimes, watch the appreciation flicker in their eyes. But what's the point? I had a man who loved me at any size, and I threw him away for one who only wanted me as a conquest. Brett's engaged now. I saw it on Facebook before he blocked me. A kindergarten teacher named Amy who looks soft and happy, and nothing like the hard body I've become. They're getting married next month at the same venue where we exchanged vows 7 years ago. She'll walk down the same aisle where I promised to love and cherish and forsake all others. The engagement photos were like a knife to the heart. Brett looking at her the way he used to look at me, but different. Older, wiser, like a man who'd learned what really mattered. Amy glowing in a simple sundress, no designer labels, no careful angles to hide imperfections. Just joy. The comments were full of people I used to call friends. So happy you found your person. You deserve all the happiness. Amy's perfect for you. About time you found a real woman. That last one was from Brett's sister. She'd never liked me, and now she had her vindication. I wonder if he tells her she's beautiful. I wonder if she believes him. I wonder if she knows how lucky she is to have a man who sees past the surface. My phone buzzes. A text from some guy I matched with on a dating app asking if I want to grab drinks. His profile says he's a personal trainer. Of course it does. I seem to have a type now. Men who only see my body, who don't care about the ugly inside. I look in the mirror at my parents' basement bathroom. Flat stomach, toned arms, thigh gap I used to dream about. The reflection of everything I thought I wanted. But behind the muscle and definition, I see the truth. I'm 34 years old, living in my childhood bedroom with nothing to show for my transformation, but a body that cost me my soul. The gym gave me everything I thought I wanted and took everything that actually mattered. Chase taught me to lift heavy and carry nothing. Brett tried to love me light, but I was too stupid to see that weight didn't matter when someone's carrying your heart. I text the trainer back. Maybe this time will be different. Maybe this time I'll find someone who sees more than muscle and mistakes. But probably not, because the truth is I don't see more than that either anymore. I trained myself out of my marriage and into a life of empty reps and hollow victories, strong body, broken everything else. That's what transformation really looks like when you're running from the wrong things. And now I'm fit enough to run forever, but there's nowhere left to go.